So today I am on my way back up to Boston once again. So of course I thought it would be a good opportunity to do some thrifting along the way. In case you can't tell, my car is already packed pretty full. I am actually styling a photo shoot outside of Boston this weekend, so I have lots of props back there. But of course, there's always room for more, but we probably can't put anything big, but we'll see what we find. I made a little list of all the places to possibly thrift today. They're all sort of more local places. Like obviously there's also Goodwills and Salvation Armies along the way that I just added on my Google Maps, but I made this little list that also has like the opening and closing times. That way as I'm going, it's just like really easy to reference. The first one is a little over 2 hours away, so I think it'll be a nice way to break up this long trip today. But of course we gotta get some coffee first. The first store that I stopped at was the Greenwich Hospital Auxiliary thrift store. It was very clean and well organized. However, I did notice that the pricing was not what I'd consider thrift store pricing. It was more along the lines of like a consignment shop, and they definitely keep things super clean and all of that stuff and sort stuff out so you don't have any broken stuff, which is nice. And I do think they were doing sales, but I just found the pricing to be more than what I was looking for, so I probably only spent about 10 minutes in here before I decided to move along to the next store. My next stop was the DCA thrift shop in Darien, Connecticut. I hope I'm saying that right. It was really cute. They aren't big, they're fairly small, but they have some nice little homewares. I thought that the pricing was really good, and the thing that I felt like they really shined with was the clothing. Actually, I tried on quite a few pieces because they just had good quality clothing and everything was pretty well priced. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything, but I kind of wish this was nearby so I could stop in for clothes regularly. After that, I stopped in the Good Stuff shop in Shelton, Connecticut, and let me tell you, this place is so adorable. Definitely a favorite. It is in an old house. I believe it's owned by the church that is next door. The pricing is great. It's adorable. It is stuffed full. You could spend all day here for sure. It's the full house, so there's even like a second floor. And yeah, there's whole rooms. There's a whole room of just Christmas stuff, and there's just entire rooms filled with plates and little knickknacks. And yeah, like I said, just adorable. I also really loved that they had an entire book room. I know a lot of thrift stores these days are kind of cutting back on books because it just takes up a lot of space, so it was nice to see that. And the Christmas room was actually really cute. I was kind of in love with all of the stockings, and I won't lie that I ended up taking 2 of these home, but I'll share which ones a little bit later. Anyway, if you are in the area, definitely one that I would recommend. I feel like it's just such a fun place to stop in. It is time for another coffee run. I know that this is the cheesiest thing I could possibly say, but this coffee is literally giving me life. It is so good, and it is just what I needed after a long day of driving. It has been great to break up the drive with thrifting. Definitely recommend. But I finally stopped at Perkatory, which has been on my list for a long time. Usually I just get basic, like just a cold brew or just a latte. This is the Chocula, I think it is. And I was really worried because I'm not like a super sweet drink person. It's like 90% cold brew, just a tiny bit of chocolate. So it's like the perfect combination because it's not like super bitter, but it's not painfully sweet either. It's just the bright little hint of chocolate, mostly coffee, and it's blended, and it's just refreshing. Anyway, 10 out of 10, definitely recommend if you're coming through the area. There was another thrift shop literally right across from the coffee shop, so I stopped in there. However, it was pretty tiny, mostly closed. There was quite a few people in and out, and so I moved along to St. Anne's shop in Old Lyme, Connecticut. It was really cute. The pricing was a little bit high. However, when I did buy something, it was half price, so there must have been a sign somewhere. I just didn't see it. So as long as they were having a sale, it's not too bad, but overall, it was really nice, and the ladies working there were super sweet. And then I made it through Connecticut, and I stopped at the JohnnyCake Center of Westerly, Rhode Island. And it's kind of like a Salvation Army from what I can tell. There's a couple of them. It was nice and big, tons and tons of stuff,
good pricing. Yeah, I would definitely stop in here regularly if I was a local. Yeah, definitely like Goodwill, Salvation Army vibes.
Okay, so I just hit what I think is going to be my last thrift store for the day. I hit like at least 5 or 6, which I've only gotten like 3 in total little thing, but it was still super fun. It really broke up the trip nicely, which was great. I think I will actually have some time to thrift tomorrow night after I'm done work. I actually try to hit a Savers because I still haven't been to a Savers, which is crazy, but there's none in my area. So, but I thought I'd show you really quick what I have gotten so far. This is so cute. It's a little vintage pennant. It ended up being like half price. So it was marked at $8, but I ended up getting it for like $4. I also got these little quilted vintage stockings, like Christmas stockings. And obviously it is not Christmas time anymore. It's like the opposite of Christmas time, but I thought they were 50 cents each, so $1 for the pair of them. And to be honest, I'm not like 100% sure that like they'll fit perfectly with my Christmas decor. I feel like I'm still figuring out my Christmas decor situation. But I thought they were really lovely, and I've seen some people style them really cute, like this style. So I figured for $1 for both of them, I would grab them, throw them in my Christmas bin, and then I'll see how I feel, you know, come Christmas time, and I can either use them or give them to somebody else or redonate them. So anyway, that's all I've gotten so far. I did get a bag of coffee beans from Perkatory while I was there, but I always love to come home with like some local coffee from like a good spot when I travel. So I finally made it to a Savers and I have some thoughts. Pros were that it was huge and super well organized. I also feel like in general the merchandise was in pretty good shape. Like I didn't see anything on the floor that was broken or really obviously super stained or anything like that. But I definitely have a huge bone to pick with their pricing, at least at this store. The pricing felt like it was all over the place. I picked up 2 sweaters that were really similar. The one that I did get was like $3 or $4. And then the other one was like $13, so like $10 more, and seemingly for no reason. The one I got didn't have any stains on it. They also do have books, which I've noticed a lot of Goodwills down by me at least no longer really even carry books. But Savers actually had a whole book section and it was super well organized, which is awesome. But the book pricing was also kind of weird. I mean, I didn't see any that were like egregiously priced, but like you just kind of wonder, like they should probably just have some basic pricing, because some of them were, you know, $1, some of them were $4, and it just didn't really make any sense to me why they were priced differently. Also do way price up for brands that they definitely know are like better brands. They have like cases where they put like the nice stuff and it's really pricey. Oh, also another huge pro was that they have self-checkout, which I just love. I am a big fan of self-checkout, so I was really excited. There was no like long waits. I was able to just walk right up and check myself out. Love that. But anyway, I will show you what I got. Sweater. Just a nice basic throw over sweater. I feel like I can never have too many. I got Ghost by Edith Wharton. Last year I read my first Edith Wharton and I really loved it, so I've been kind of picking up more and more of her books, so I'm excited to read this one. This lovely edition of Little Women. Just too pretty to pass up, and it was only $3, so you know, who doesn't love a pretty edition? And lastly, a little saddlebag, a little leather saddlebag. It's actually LL Bean, which is not necessarily a fancy brand or anything like that, but I always love the quality of LL Bean products, and it may not be super fancy, but I just love, it's like a saddlebag style, very simple, but definitely a style that I always use a lot of. So, and it's in pretty good condition. This was the most expensive thing I picked up at $11. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this little thrift road trip. Unfortunately, on my way back, I'm probably gonna be driving late at night and everything will already be closed, so won't be doing much thrifting or any thrifting on the way back. But thank you for coming along with me, and I will see you next time.